What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Team Hold So Rare is here. We get game week 30 coming at us, so it's time to dive in. We're going to do a little value hunting for this game week. But before we get started, we had some pretty exciting news over the weekend. We've opened up a VIP membership program within Team Hold So Rare. Whether you're into the fast break over on the NBA Top Shot side of things, or specifically So Rare NBA, or maybe a combo of both, we got a membership product that I'm pretty excited about. For So Rare specifically, what we're going to be doing, if you join the membership, you're going to be getting a special show every single Monday that's going to be focusing specifically on MVP and building champion lineups. I wanted to do a little something different where we try to figure out how to ball on a budget, if you will, in the MVP streets and just try to see where we can gain an advantage. So we're going to be doing that every Monday for the upcoming 2 game weeks. We're also going to be doing a live after lock. We do live before lock. That's still going to be free for everybody at 5:30 on Mondays and Fridays. But right after lock hits, we're going to switch it over to a VIP stream. We're going to give away a couple rare tier cards. We're going to dive into the upcoming game week, look at some rosters, maybe try to bring on some different guests and do that every single game week. Finally, you're also going to get the plays from this show before everyone else. So as I'm doing my research, you'll see it go live, and then the video will be available for everybody else hours later, even a day later. So anyways, it's not too much. We're not asking for a ton of money for this, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for the community, have a little bit of a leg up on everybody else, and just continuing to make the good stuff that we have. Obviously, if you're not interested in that, you're still going to get the same content you've been getting this whole time. This is just a little extra. All right, enough about that. Let's dive into the slate. So we get game week 30. Before we look at game week 30, I'm just going to do a quick review of what we got going on over here for game week 29 in my lineups. Unfortunately, my best stuff is like my common Eastern Conference right here, which, hey, listen, a win's a win. We had Brunson drop a 58. I still got Cade with a game left, Bruce Brown with a game left, but we got 58 from Jalen Johnson and 58 from Onyeka Okongwu. Did not see that coming. We're winning a common tier 2 over here as well with our Jokic, Şengün, Kuminga, Gordon, and Hart lineup. Our rare streets didn't do so well, so our rare contender, we're 12 points away from the closest reward. I do still have another Jalen Green game. Actually, all my guys have another game, so hopefully there's still room to run. I didn't realize how close we were to a rare champion. Again, these are probably coupons that I'm winning at this point, but AD dropped 65, which that's solid. Anthony Edwards has continued to disappoint, but the one thing that we can take away from this game week compared to the last one is that I'm not sure if our Thunder stuff smashed in the way that we thought it was going to with the Jalen Williams injury. And then the limited stuff, though, wasn't so bad, right? Our limited champion here is currently winning a tier 3. We threw SGA and Trey Young together. Scotty Barnes still has one more game. Dante DiVincenzo, the Knicks stuff continues to just smash. But again, the Thunder stuff, not so much with Aaron Wiggins. But another game, maybe Aaron Wiggins makes a run. And our limited contender was pretty solid, too. We had Emmanuel Quickly, Anthony Simons, Markelle Fultz. Hopefully we get a Fultz ceiling game. John Conchar and Josh Hart. So that was you're going to hear a lot of these same names today, too, I have a feeling, but that's where I was attacking this game week and hopefully scooping up some more rewards and hopefully getting some of those rewards in good time frame, right? Right, so rare, right, so rare. All right, let's dive in. This game week, so the Golden State Warriors have 3 games, and they played last night. I don't know if you saw Steph Curry drop over 60 points. Unbelievable. The 60-point games are coming fast and furious. But the Warriors have 3 games this game week. And also last night, Andrew Wiggins got a little dinged up. He left the game at halftime, did not return. So I wanted to start with Jonathan Kuminga, who I know his cap has been on the rise because he's been playing incredible lately. He's got a cap at 34. You can see his year 2 card is going for $10. His rare year 1 is going for 35. So Kaminga right now is at a cap of 34, and he projects for over 50 fantasy points. I don't think we're normally used to when we're talking about Kaminga being like, oh yeah, 50-point guy, but he really has blossomed this last couple of weeks. And with Golden State like trying to make a run here, they're going to have to rely on him because he's truly their second or third best player right now. And I mean, I know he only had 21 points against the Hawks last night with Wiggins missing most of that game. But you look at the last few game weeks, 49, 43, 34, 44, 45, and the 45 came on Friday. So you still get those points. It was on a back-to-back. So Kuminga is somebody that's going to project really well. Honestly, even if Andrew Wiggins is in, if Andrew Wiggins, like Kuminga projects great regardless. And I think with Wiggins being a little dinged up and them having 3 games this game week, maybe he misses one of those 3 just to keep him soft. Soft, not soft's not the right word. Keep him fresh. Also, Wiggins is all over the trade deadline right now, so there's a real possibility he's not even on the team. And if that's the case too, the next person we're going to look at gets even more of a bun. But we're going to look at the pod god Pajemski over here, who he's probably going to be a little bit inflated, right? Because he's got a cap of I'm sorry, because he's a rookie. He's got no rares available. Is that right now? Let's do that. So we get Porzingis out of there. Wow. Anyways, his limited year 2 right here. You can see it for $17. And let's look at his most recent game week performances. We've seen from him 51 and 40 in his last couple of games. Prior to that, those 13, 13, 28, 18. But again, 3 games this game week. If Wiggins misses some time, I really like that. That cap is 21. He projects for over 30. So that's pretty fun. We don't hate that at all. And then I think like if you're looking at some higher end guys like Draymond Green, I don't know if we're calling Draymond Green a higher end guy. Maybe I should walk that back a little bit. But Draymond's cap is only 30 here. I mean, it has jumped up a few points since he's returned from his suspension. But you saw that 53 against the Lakers, but then 26, 34, 24. Just something to keep an eye on the 3 games this game week. 1 and 3, right? Draymond will pop a little bit. Let's head over to Orlando. We've got Jalen Suggs, who the Orlando Magic guards continue to project really well. Suggs' cap has come all the way down to 19 now. And you can see wow, you can get that year 1 for just over $6. In his most recent performances, he's been pretty steady, right? For a cap of 19, he's dropped 29, 23, 27, 32. He's got Detroit today. His cap is 19, and he does project for over 30 fantasy points, which is, we're going to take that. We're going to take that. All right, I'm going to give you one right now that I hate. But technically, he projects really well. I don't remember the last time he's played good basketball. Let's welcome to the team, Miles Turner. Miles Turner's cap is 26, all the way down to 26 for a starting center on a team that plays the fastest basketball in the league. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with Halliburton on a minutes restriction, so they haven't gotten to get in their groove that much. If it's Siakam taking over more of his shots, or if Turner's just playing poorly. But look at this, 21, 30, 40. You got a 42 in game week 26, 8, 24, 12. Now he's got the Hornets tonight, so there's a real possibility Charlotte does a good job making people feel like they're better at basketball than they are. His cap is 26. He projects for over 38. So we don't hate that. We don't hate that, even though I'm probably not going to do it because it makes me nervous. We did get the word that Joel Embiid is donezo here for at least throughout the All-Star game break. He's going to miss some time. It's going to be a lot more than that. It does sound like, I know they said he had an issue with his knee flap, I believe is what they called it, the scientific term, the flap. But I don't see him coming back. At least for 6 weeks, I don't see it. So we'll look at B-ball Paul, who maybe now's not the right time to look at Paul Reed because he's coming off a horrendous game last night as they got smoked by the Brooklyn Nets. But he's going to cap at 21. Honestly, I don't. He does have a ceiling, right? We've seen him, look at this, 56 against the Nuggets. We've seen him do 29 with 32, but there is a 1 in there. There is a 7 in there. So Paul Reed makes me a little bit nervous with this time, with just like he can get played off the court. We've seen it happen a couple of times, and we've also seen Nick Nurse go to Mo Bamba a few times. So Mo Bamba's going to cap a 16, and I'm not saying you should play Mo Bamba either. Let me be honest. I'm not, but I think this is an alternative. You're like, I want a cheap guy, but I don't want to pay up for Paul Reed. He's a lot cheaper, and we've seen him get a 24, a 22, a 12 against the Nets last night. But really, with that injury news, the people that's going to help is Tobias Harris, who I know missed last night's game. And Tobias here is going to cap at 38, which, again, that doesn't feel good playing Tobias for a cap of 38, but he does project for over 43 fantasy points, so that's not bad. I know I'm realizing I didn't say Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba does project. He's got that cap of 16, projects for 22. And then Maxey, the other Sixer, right? He's got a cap of 47. He projects for over 53 fantasy points. It's probably priced accordingly right now, so you don't have to go out and make that move. But we're going to see some monster performances from him. Wow, his rare tier is already as high as that was. You can get year 1 for $18. But yeah, even in a crap game against Brooklyn, he dropped 44. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that from Maxey over the coming weeks because of that injury situation. He's just going to have to do a lot more. All right, let me see who else we got that's popping. A lot of the same names, right? The Knicks guys are still going to be there, even though Dante DiVincenzo his cap has climbed up over 30. It's at 33 now. He's still projecting for over 45. I mean, Dante's been on an absolute heater. He had another very productive game last night in the loss against the Knicks. The Nets guys are kind of sneaky interesting. You had Cameron Johnson. We saw Cam Thomas had like popped this game week too. He crushed last night, but nobody that's really screaming out. And this kind of feels like it's going to be another balanced game here, game week, where we're not going to have the guys. We don't have the Scottie Pippen Jr. Right. We don't have the cap of 8 with somebody scoring 40. I think we're going to have to really find those guys in the 15 to 25 range. Let's go another Nick that we haven't talked too much about. Isaiah Hartenstein, who he's got a cap at 31, which I know is pretty high, but a solid contender play because with that cap of 31, he projects for over 40 fantasy points. And we're going to take that every time, right? You can see he's been fairly consistent outside of that game against Charlotte, 39, 46, 33 last night against the Lakers. And he dropped that 33 while in foul trouble. So the good thing about the Knicks, man, is that Tom Tibbs just like plays his guys, like Precious Achiuwa is another one we should probably pull up here. He's got a cap of 22. Um, Cap at 22, but with no, he dropped 32, 46, 21 against the Lakers last night. Again, that wasn't the best matchup for him. But so the Knicks are in this weird situation where Quentin Grimes has continued to miss a ton of time, right? He's missed like 3 consecutive games, maybe 4 consecutive games. You have OG Anunoby missing a few games. And I think Precious has kind of sealed his, he's not going to be starting when OG comes back, but I do think Precious is like somebody they're going to rely pretty heavily on off the bench. And Tibbs likes what he's doing. So even when OG comes back, I think we can really target these Knicks here for a little bit, but because there's no Randall. So Hartenstein is fine. Josh Hart is continuing to be fine. I probably would rank Dante DiVincenzo the Nick that I want the most outside of Brunson, obviously, who's been going ham, but that's kind of where I would land. And again, that's kind of it. Like, I don't think there's too many more names we have to dive into for this game week because it's a lot of the same names and it's a lot of like mid-range guys that we're looking at. For MVPs that like project the best value wise, as opposed to their cap. Anthony Davis's cap is under 50 and he's projecting for over 60 fantasy points. Scotty Barnes for game week 45 in a row is projecting really well. He's a cap at 37. He projects for almost 50. And then Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry also project really well. And we're starting to see some ceiling from De'Aaron Fox. So if you were waiting for De'Aaron Fox to have a couple of good games, now's probably the time to dive in. I'm going to let's build some lineups here for game week 30 and see what we got going here. See what we got going. I'm going to go. Let's start with our limited champ. Since I haven't been doing I've been like throwing some lineups in the Eastern Conference, but it's not. I don't have the best build for it. So let me start with limited champion here. We still have the common Eastern. I mean, no, I'm sorry. We still have the Eastern Conference stuff, which is fun. But let's start here. So SGA is always like my first play here, I would imagine. Although, who's projecting a little bit better this game week is Kyrie. How? Because he's got 3 games. We don't know. It looks like he was close to playing on Saturday. So for this, we're going to assume Kyrie plays with this build. So we'll start with Kyrie, and then we're just going to talk about the guys that have already been projecting really well, right? I think we go down to Scotty Barnes here next, even though I kind of want to play Trae Young. We'll put Scotty Barnes in there next. We're going to drop down to Dante DiVincenzo, who continues to play really well. Let's see. I think we're going to try to get Josh Hart in this lineup as well. He's got a cap of 26, and that gets us 24. We could go Santi Aldama, who has 2 games. Or it's B-Ball Paul, and we'll do Paul Reed here. So that'll be our limited champ. I don't actually love it. We might have to go shopping here. But let's go build our rare contender next. And I'm curious to see how much changes between now and tomorrow. So my rare contender, this is projecting Quentin Grimes to play again. Actually, let's do rare champion. Let's do rare champion because that's more fun. We'll do champions only. We'll save our contenders for later. So our rare champion, obviously AD, I imagine is going to be the first play. Although maybe this is an AD Kyrie week. Can we play them both? So we got Anthony Davis. I'm imagining this is actually going to be a very similar lineup, right? We get Scotty Barnes in there next, followed by Dante DiVincenzo. That leaves us with 25 the rest of the way. I wonder if we have anybody down here in the 20 range that we can get. Markel Fultz, Conchar, Roddy. I think we go Fultz here, and that leaves us with 30. And we can scroll back up. And then Bradley Beal. That kind of fits nicely. I got to tell you, it doesn't make my heart feel warm or anything, but I do like it. All right, gang. That's going to be it for Game Week 30. Appreciate everyone watching. Just a reminder, live before lock. Monday, we'll be back. That's tomorrow, 5:30. Giving away a rare tier card. And seriously, would love to have some more members join the VIP thing that we launched this week. I believe it's $4.99 for Team Hold So Rare. If you want to do So Rare and Fast Break, which is the other fantasy game on NBA Top Shot, it'll be $6.99. You like save a buck because it was like $4.99 and $3.99. So if that's something you're into, we'd love to have you in there. Excited to build that community up a little bit more. But for myself, for best of luck the rest of with Game Week 29. We'll see you for Game Week 30. We are out.